Welcome back to Sportsnite Niagara. I'm your host, Jeremy White. We check in with the men's hockey team and one player whose experience is a little bit different than his teammates. We talk about battles in hockey a lot, battles along the wall, battles within a game. Well, David Ross has a battle all his own.
I saw that play kind of coming the whole way. I saw it was going to be a 2-on-1, and the guy just slid the puck over, and I just kind of buried my head and kept on going. And luckily, I dived at the right time. Just everything was perfect. The guy kind of tried to hold on to it, just slide in there, and I dove at the right time, and luckily I swept it away.
It takes a special person to overcome great adversity, something that Niagara University junior forward David Ross does every day due to a unique situation. David is living with diabetes, which makes life a challenge for anyone, let alone someone handling the rigors and grind of a physically demanding sport like hockey.
Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. It's not anything the kids did. They didn't eat the wrong foods or not get enough exercise. It's a disease where the body attacks the cells in the pancreas that produce insulin, and it destroys them. So children and adults with type 1 diabetes are insulin dependent for the rest of their life. If you don't get insulin and you have type 1 diabetes, you die.
It's a hurdle when you first look at it, but there's two ways you can look at it. I guess you can look at it in a negative way or a positive way, and I try and look at it as a positive way the best I can. You have to face some things other guys don't, but yeah, it was a bit of an adjustment when I first got it with hockey and whatnot. You have to start testing your blood sugar. I'll test before I go on the ice, and then I'll bring my meter out on the bench, and if need be, I can usually feel if I'm low. I'll go over and I bring a Gatorade out, so I'll just hop over and grab a Gatorade. So I just have to keep an eye on it, but I try not to let it get in the way.
Coach Burkholder says David's diabetes was not an issue during the recruitment process.
Well, he was one of the best players out of the provincial league in Toronto, which says a lot, and he was one of the leading scorers. So on the ice, when we'd go watch and we were recruiting him hockey-wise, it was like his skill set, he's a 100-point guy in a really good league, one of the best leagues in Canada. But then to find out, that he is a diabetic and he had some issues, we looked into that. We talked to his parents, talked to his coaches, past and present, and there wasn't going to be an issue in regards to his diabetes and what he has to do on a daily basis to be able to compete at this level. So it's something that we've, with his parents and with David's, he's so cognizant and aware of what needs to be done with his body and when, it hasn't been an issue.
Coach Burkholder spoke about what David brings to the Purple Eagles team.
He's just the ultimate complete player for us. He's so good in a lot of areas. He's a great face-off guy. He's a playmaker. He can shoot it when he has to. His tight area skills are really good. So we use him in all different areas. He can kill penalties. He's been on our power play since day one, since coming to Niagara. So, there's a lot of things that we like about David's game, and he's one of our most dedicated athletes. He's remarkably, he's a physical fitness, enthusiast, if you will, and he's just a great role model for our team.
David's game day routine is a little different, and he takes us through it.
The first thing I do when I wake up is I'll test to see where I'm at. If I'm running high, I'll have some insulin. I use an insulin pump, so I just program that in there, and I'll get insulin through that. Then we're usually here for team breakfast, so come and we have a team meal. I have to know how many carbohydrates I'm having so that I can take the proper proportion of insulin. Then it's hopping on the ice for a pregame skate. I'm usually okay with that. It's only about half an hour, so I just tested at breakfast, which is usually only 45 minutes before the skates. Then usually go home and nap and whatnot. Wake up, then come here for a pregame meal around 1:30, 2 o'clock. So I'm testing again then before I eat. Same thing, counting the carbohydrates, taking insulin for what I need. And then go back home, relax for a bit. Usually come to the rink leave at 4:30 or so. So I'll have a little snack around 4 again, and once again test my blood sugar. And usually if I'm in range, I'll have some insulin because of the adrenaline, whatnot of the game. So if I'm in range, I'll have a bit. If I'm high, I'll have a bit more. I have kind of a sliding scale that I use. If I'm low, then I have some Gatorade in my saw that I can have. Then I go out for warm-up, come in, same thing, test, see where I'm at, make the proper adjustments, and same thing after every period.
Well, to watch him on a daily basis with his diabetes is, I have a lot of respect for him, and I've learned more about the disease itself. But, there's times in practice when he needs to take a break. He checks his pump, his insulin pump, and his numbers and his blood sugar. But again, he's just so in tune with his body that he keeps on top of that. And again, we work together. It's something that he's going to live with the rest of his life, and to be able to excel in the classroom and on the ice at the Division I level with what he struggles with day to day is remarkable.
Yeah, I have diabetes, but I mean the opportunities are endless. I think it's made me a better person.
Ahead for Caparuso, and what a play by Ross! What a tremendous play by David Ross! Game-saving play. You bought your team 30 seconds single-handedly with that play.
And quite a story from David Ross. We'll continue with the men's hockey team. We've got a Niagara legend up next, former player and assistant men's hockey coach Greg Gardner, coming up next on Sportsnite Niagara.